These two mountain bikes need big tune-ups at least, and that's what they're in my shop for. That's what the owners think they're getting, but they're in for a big surprise because we're gonna give them a whole lot more.
I found this for $400, so I picked this up and gave it to my little brother.
So you gave your old bike to your little brother?
Yeah.
This bike looks like a size small. You're probably gonna grow out of it.
I mean, I think it's already small for him, but we just gotta work with what we have for now.
Daniel was trying to buy a bike off of me for his little brother to upgrade this one. And when I heard the backstory, I said, just give me both of your bikes. I'll take them to my shop and make them right. Daniel's 19, he works, he helps pay bills in his household, and he found this bike for $400 used. And that's a lot of bike for the money, but it could use a tune-up, and there's a lot we can do here in terms of the setup. Now, this Trek Marlin that Samuel has been riding has seen better days. The drivetrain is really messed up. I can see there's a twist in the chain, definitely needs a new one. Derailleur hanger is bent, the headset is loose, and if we dig in, we're sure to find a whole lot more. So let's get these bikes into the workshop, see if we can't hook both of these brothers up, starting with Daniel's Polygon Siskiyou. Daniel's mountain bike just needs a tune-up, all things considered. The bike is in great condition, and we can even give it some upgrades that'll make it better than the day he got it. So now the bike is nice and clean. That's usually a good place to start. What's going on with the shifting? Well, the pedals are off the bike, so I'm gonna screw in a dummy pedal so we can cycle the drivetrain. And now let's shift through the gears and see what's happening. Start at gear 1. Shifts to the first gear, no problem. Jumping around a little bit. Let's tighten the cable. Okay, gear 3. Jumps up to gear 4. Let's look at the top of the cassette. Okay, stays in the lowest gear. Then we start getting clicking and jumping around. So on some spots, it seems to be shifting just fine. In other spots, it is not. That is a classic bent derailleur hanger. Now, I would say that's definitely the problem, except Daniel told me he took this to a bike shop. They said his actual derailleur is damaged and that it needs to be changed in order to get fixed. So we're gonna check it out ourselves and see if this derailleur hanger is straight. So a derailleur hanger alignment gauge threads into the derailleur hanger the same spot that a derailleur does, and then we can use this gauge to check to see how straight it is. We first check 12 o'clock, then we can move to the bottom of the wheel and check 6 o'clock and see if the gauge ends up in the same place. And we can see it does not. It absolutely does not. So what do? Well, we bend it back. We can go to 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock, make sure it's all in the same exact spot, but you can only bend back a derailleur hanger so many times, and so we're gonna give Daniel a brand new derailleur hanger. We're just gonna swap it out so he has a fresh start. All we have to do is remove the rear wheel, undo this little hex bolt, and then we'll install the new one and check the shifting again. So now that we know the hanger is straight, we can adjust the derailleur and see if it'll shift right. There still could be problems here. So I was able to get it close, but it's shifting rough. I screwed up the first rule of troubleshooting, try the easiest thing first. All it takes is a visual inspection to see that the derailleur cage is in fact bent. As for this mangled derailleur, maybe I could get it working again with a hammer and some pliers, but I don't know if that would really be doing Daniel right. Instead, I have here a Shimano Q's rear derailleur. It works for 9, 10, 11 speed. It has the same clutch as a Dior derailleur, and actually these are optimized for longevity. While we're messing around with the shifter and the cables anyway, might be a good time to tidy up these cables. It's mostly cosmetic, but it's also kind of not. A quiet bike is a happy bike. You can hear what's going on. You look down, you don't see a mess of cables. So I'm gonna shorten up this shifter housing to match the brake hose and make everything up at the cockpit just look proper. All right, time for some pedals. These are in pretty good condition, but they're just aqua blue. Maybe this does match, and I don't know. These lightly used stamp pedals are made of metal, and they're better. And this dropper post cable has a lot of play in it. That's an easy fix. And we're gonna leave it long in case they wanna raise the seat. Okay, didn't take long for that to turn into changing the entire cable. There's all sorts of stuff messed up with the cable ends. I've got to cut them clean. Something tells me this bike had a storied history. Now we're getting down to the details. I removed this bottle cage from the bike because Daniel and his brother ride Berm Park, and you can't actually go mountain biking with a full bottle of water in this and expect it to stay in. So we're gonna give him a right entry side load cage, least I can do. And at this point, why wouldn't we give him new grips? We've gone this far. Daniel's bike came in here with a serious shot to the derailleur, and his hanger was bent, his shifting was all messed up. Now it's super crispy, the bike is super clean, and a whole bunch of minor problems have been fixed. And ultimately, we have not accomplished any of the things we set out to do. Daniel came to me looking for a bike for Samuel, his 14-year-old brother, and it's in a sad state of affairs. As we established, Samuel's bike has some shifting issues. The headset is loose and the fork is smoked. It either needs a heavy service or we need to replace it. But otherwise, it just needs a good cleaning and a tune-up. There is nothing on this bike that we can't fix, except for one thing. Samuel is taller than me and he is riding a size small bike. The geometry is not right for him. It's not right for pedaling. It's not right for jumping. It's not right for anything. So Samuel needs a larger bike, and we just so happen to have one right here, Daniel's Polygon Siskiyou. And so this is now Samuel's bike. But what now will we do for Daniel? That's what we're gonna do for Daniel. It's a Polygon Siskiyou. I mean, why not? Except this one's newer, it has a different color scheme, it's a little better in some ways, and we're gonna personalize it for Daniel. These wheels and tires are tubeless ready, and so all we have to do is take the inner tubes out of them, put valve stems in, fill them with sealant, and they'll be lighter and they'll have a better ride. You can run lower tire pressure without pinch flatting. And while we have the back wheel off, we're going to remove the dork disc. And of course, we'll be sure to adjust his limit screw so that he doesn't have a chain in the spokes. Based on the accessories that were on the other two bikes, Daniel likes things to be bright. I have an accent color that might work with it, orange. So we're gonna give him orange valve caps, orange cable buddies to keep his cables nice and neat, and of course, burnt orange Crank Brothers Stamp 7 pedals. These are properly loud. We're also gonna give him a side load bottle cage that has a tire lever inside of it with a tubeless patch kit to go along with his new tubeless tires. And while we're at it, let's upgrade the grips and the saddle. And how can we not put these sticky fingers on the bike? They match the frame color perfectly, and we know Daniel likes it loud. Okay, now I think it might be time to stare at this bike. Here we are at Chestnut Mountain, home of Berm Park. We're about to present these bikes. I am very excited because they have no idea. Hey! Hey Samuel, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Daniel, good to see you. There were problems with the hanger, there was problems with the whole derailleur, and then you know all the problems with the Trek.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you guys to check it out. Go over there, back there, and the bikes are waiting for you.
Dang, what the heck?
What? Is that a whole new bike?
Yeah. I guess yours didn't work out. What the heck? That's the T6, so it's honestly better than mine.
No.
At this point, they hadn't yet seen the labels on the bike, and so there was a bit of confusion until they finally saw the name tags and realized exactly what I did.
Look at the pedals on the stage.
Now you have a better bike than me. Or, never mind, I guess you get mine. Bro, I actually wanted to buy a T6. Oh my gosh.
Dang it, I get to have yours.
I know. And Seth made it all good, so it won't have any issues now. And look, new grips, everything. Bro, you could hit every jump now.
Daniel and Samuel noticed everything. The pedals, the grips, the sticky fingers, and Daniel had already been eyeing the T6 prior to this, so the bike he was lusting after was suddenly his. I bet he didn't wake up that day thinking that was gonna happen.
I wanted to get this because it has longer travel.
Yeah.
So it's perfect. Thank you so much. Because back in 2020, I texted you to like help me with the Trek because I found out you live in Asheville, and it helped me get into mountain biking.
I plan on fixing that up too. You guys can do what you want with it, get somebody else into mountain biking.
It's literally like a dream come true. You usually just watch the people that it happens to and just wish that happened.
Since they got their new improved bikes, Daniel and Samuel have been riding together at Chestnut Mountain every day. And if you go out there, you'll be very likely to see them. This story started off with Daniel trying to find a better bike for his brother, and it ended with me getting a bunch of cabbage rolls that his mom cooked.
That's right up my alley.
Thank you, Bikes Online, for making that possible. I've never worked with Bikes Online before, but we sent them an email and told them what we were doing, and they were happy to send the bike. And so, thanks for being a part of this story. Daniel and Samuel, I hope you enjoy those bikes. Thanks for riding with me today, and I'll see you next time.